Hungry. They still making it. They still making it back there.
When it was, okay, I think we're ready now. A round of applause again for her as well. Make her feel welcome so that she's not nervous. Okay, are we logged into the system yet? It is SNQEV3. Thank you. And for the benefit of the last presenter, you had well over 40 people, and over 50 people saying they are interested in your business. So, thank you to everyone. Okay, over to you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Clovis. I'm the founder of DJ Supplies. DJ Supplies is a packaging. So DJ Supplies supplies paper and packaging supplies. We all started because I noticed that when there is lack of quality packaging in Nigeria, because I started a confectionery in Nigeria some years back, and I couldn't find quality packaging for the things I needed, because I needed fancy jars and things like that, and I couldn't find it. So I started having to source it, and from sourcing it, I set up an Instagram platform, and I noticed that other people were looking for packaging as well. So I also try to encourage recycling as well. So I also try to encourage people to like recycle their glass bottles, to transform them into beautiful big vases, and just to get them into beautifying their spaces in a very affordable way as well. So I was doing this because I noticed there was need for beautiful packaging, and there were few suppliers, and even now I've noticed that even in the manufacturing industry, not enough packaging is being manufactured in Nigeria that people are interested in. So far I've supplied to about 300 customers and have done quite over 5,000 followers on my Instagram page, but I'm still running it on a small scale now, and I would like to push it forward and make it running on the bigger scale. So this is my dream. I would like to work with factories in Nigeria to manufacture more quality packaging so that customers can afford quality packaging. Because at the moment, a lot of people want quality packaging, but the manufacturers are not manufacturing the kind of packaging that they're interested in. They're having to import things like plastic jars for their creams and their scrubs. And I'm also working on recycling boards, getting people more interested in recycling. And one of the projects I did was, I have a friend who cleans beaches in Nigeria. So I partnered with her to get to recycle bottles for me, and I worked with a creative entrepreneur to decorate these bottles and customize them and things like that. So I hope to be the #1 brand for quality packaging and decoration supplies in Nigeria and even Africa, because I noticed that there is also a demand. I've had people on my Instagram from Ghana and from Ivory Coast asking for packaging, but I don't have the resources at the moment to provide it. I also want to buy a mold at the moment so that I can, because I've been talking to one of the big manufacturers in Nigeria, and I've been told that I would have to buy a mold if I wanted to manufacture, if I wanted them to help me manufacture this. So I'm working, I need a lot of support to get molds so that I can manufacture different designs of packaging. I want to encourage more creative cycle. I also want to source and manufacture a variety of decorative bottles and jars. And I plan to advertise on my Instagram platform, Facebook, my blog, and even take a large amount to the market. There's this brand in Nigeria that have about 2,000 followers, and they actually asked, where do you get packaging? A lot of people said, oh, they get their packaging from Novotel market or valuable market. So I also intend to sell large amounts of my packaging in the market. Yes, as I said as into manufacturing companies about it, and yes, I like especially. And one of the things I've noticed is that it's so interesting because a lot of people there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are very interested in packaging now in Nigeria, because a lot of people are now into made in Nigeria, and they're actually using strawberries made in Nigeria for their scrubs. People are now into honey. Young people are actually now interested in farming. So it's like everybody, a lot of people want to actually use made in Nigeria products, but when it comes to the packaging, it's very expensive. So it means that their products is now going to be expensive because the packaging itself, they have to import it. And so this is the first one I want to work on, pet jars. I actually want a multi-manufacturer large quantities of it. I've had a demand. I had a demand in March for 30,000 units of it, but because I wasn't able to reach the demand, I lost to that customer. So yes, so if you invest in me, you'll be supporting over 5,000 businesses. I'll be able to encourage more Nigerians to buy made in Nigeria, because at the moment some people like made in Nigeria, but it's so expensive compared to the imported brand, because they find that it will still be expensive. So if I provide cheaper packaging, then they'll be able to be interested in buying made in Nigeria, because packaging is cheaper and then they can sell their product cheaper. And then I'm willing to give 20% of the money being invested in a year's time. So these are some of the these are some of the packaging I've supplied. I've supplied to someone who does not milk, and she also does not butters, juices. Some people that do their creams, scrubs. They're trying to use even some of our Nigerian black soaps and things like that. So, and then these are some of the fancy jars I've had to source for people for their events. And these are the recycled jars. So these were actually bottles that were so this person that I partnered with actually cleaned the breeches and got bottles, and I decided to upcycle them. And somebody actually ordered it for her event and told me to customize this. So this is customized. This was done. This I did it for a wedding. And these are some of my customers so far. So I have a lot of demand, but I just can't meet the demand because I just feel like I can't meet demand. I know the demand is there, but I need assistance to actually meet the demand. So thank you for listening, and yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Wow, what a beautiful evening I've had so far. Wow. Well done to everybody. Quite inspiring. The only bit is next time we're going to put a qualifier. If your business is going to be in Nigeria, don't come. Okay, over to you. We've got just limited time. Let's see how. So that's half of it. You'll be glad to know that that's half of it. Let's see how much we can go in terms of feedback. Let's see how much we can bring audience in as well before we go for break. So over to you. I'll start with Turks.
We also known as Charlie.
Let's make it brief so that we can...
At the risk of being slightly controversial, we've had almost, 3 out of 4 presentations have actually been for business in Nigeria, and the market is telling you that that's where people want to do their business. I think we should listen. But very quickly, going through just stuff. As you know, my background is investment banking, accountant. I like numbers. So, starting with Afripod. Very confused by the idea that you were a startup and that Afripod was selling to billions in Africa. Right. There's only 1.2 billion people in Africa, maybe 1.4. It's not billions. You need to get your language correct when you're making a presentation, otherwise you begin to lose people where they say, well, actually, that doesn't make sense. Put up a slide there talking about 500 and 600, something about cost and the amount you're going to sell. No currency. I have no idea whether that was Naira, dollars, pounds. Struggle to work out how much money you're going to make out of this, but I don't know what currency you're talking about. Very short time, but I would always, if you're producing something quite technical, a very brief demo of what the thing, or just bringing a unit and showing that it works, we'll always get investors more on side. And the theme common to almost everybody here is that if you're going to ask for equity, you've got to value the company first. If you say you're going to give 8% of your company, or whatever percentage you're going to give, 8% of what? So if the company is worth £500,000, 8% you're going to invest, and you're going to pay £40,000 for your 8%. But if you don't know what the company's worth, you don't know what 8% you're paying. Cannabis mining was the 8%. Not sure what I'm getting for 8%. You know, you've got to value mining. You value once. That is the cost of your surveys. I was a bit confused about the survey. You talked about getting money to do various exploration, drilling, etc. Who was going to do that drilling? Yourselves or a professional body? Because if it's a professional body, they cost quite a lot. But at least once you've got a professional report, standards a JORC standard is one, and some of these other standards, then you have a mine. If you do it yourself, you're just another guy going out there saying, I've proved there's gold in the ground. You need the authority of an Australian or a Canadian company to actually say, yes, there is gold in the ground. Just you telling people, they won't necessarily believe you. Talks about partnerships. Wasn't quite sure whether that's an equity partnership or you were going to pay these people. He talks about geologists. How's that going to work? You're going to pay them salaries, or are they going to get a percentage of the company for doing geological stuff? Whatever partnerships you mentioned. And then 5-year tax holiday in Nigeria. Are the local taxes still payable with no holiday? That is one, I believe they tax you on replacing bringing the environmental tax and local community tax. I mean, are they payable from the get-go, or do you get a holiday for those?
You get a holiday
For local tax as well as environmental tax?
And import duty as well. We don't have to pay taxes on importing some of the machinery from abroad.
Yeah. And I had one more point. There was, in terms of environmental, well, first we go with hedging. Yep. Gold price very volatile. What happens if the